Hi again. Today I'm going to give you an orientation regarding how to use your R.E.D or LMS, specifically in theology. The Religious Education Department has organized the lessons in theology in what we call learning pockets. So, what are the elements that you're going to see in these learning pockets? This is an orientation so that you'll know how to navigate and the things that you need to answer or read inside the R.E.D, specifically the learning pockets in theology. First is you're going to see aura. What is aura? Of course, prayer. We always begin and end everything in this school with a prayer, especially here in theology. So, some video clips or sometimes Bible verses will be presented in this feature so that it can help you to meditate and be disposed in an atmosphere of prayer before you start the lesson. The next element is what we call the learning outcomes and Benedictine values. In this section, you will find your specific learning objectives for that lesson and a Benedictine value that you need to inculcate when you study that lesson. The third element is getting started. Well, getting started is just an introduction or an activity to jumpstart the session. Most of the time, you'll be given an activity or sometimes you'll be asked to watch a video, a short video clip, so that it may help you reflect on what we're going to discuss on that particular lesson. The big chunk or the big part of the learning pocket is what we call engage. Here in the engage feature, some interactive activities are incorporated and it is designed to deepen the discussion, or maybe perhaps an assessment may also be given. But most of the time in this part of the engagement or the engage part, you will see some notes or some inputs regarding the body of the lesson. This is mostly what you need to read or videos. What can you find in the engage? Most of the time you'll find pre-recorded videos of our lectures, and you will also find some reading materials in this portion and other video clips that would help you understand that particular topic in that lesson. The next part is what we call assess or the assessment. Here you'll find some assignments or perhaps some quizzes. It will be posted there. If you need to submit either a reflection paper, a reaction paper, you might be asked to do a blog or vlog. It will really depend on your teacher. But here is where we assess if you have learned something or what have you understood in our lesson. The next part would be Get Virtual. Get Virtual is like an online tour. It's a virtual tour wherein we're going to present to you or give you a link wherein you can have a virtual tour of the places related to our topic. Of course, now in this time of pandemic, we really cannot go out for an excursion or a field trip, but somehow this Get Virtual will help you and help us teachers as well to get in touch with reality, that especially with what we discussed in theology, that Jesus really did all these things, or that those people that we just read from the Bible really did these things. We will go to these places and somehow discover the reality of what happened. Let's make it tangible for us. We'll make it tangible for us to see those places where Jesus walked or where these saints have lived their ordinary life with extraordinary love. Next part is what we call the takeaways. Actually, this is just a simple exercise or just something that you will take after listening or after studying the lesson. What remained in you? What remained in you? What struck you? what moved your heart, what something in a lesson that would make you want to change for the better, something that you would take with you, even if you haven't really mastered the entire lesson, but at least something that you will take with you after listening or studying that particular lesson. And lastly, we have what we call the rest part. Here, it is also kind of prayer, like a closing prayer, but it is somehow an invitation for you to rest in the Lord's presence. That after all, theology is not merely an academic exercise. It is our way of connecting with God. It is our way of realizing how much God has loved us in what we call salvation history. In this history of our salvation, that God intervened. He always intervenes, even in our present life. So in this part, the rest part, you will be invited to rest in the Lord's presence and experience His love.